Hi guys, welcome to Let's Talk BD, the official podcast of the BD School, the first educational platform entirely dedicated to business development. Here we interview business development professionals working in the field every day, as well as startup founders, so they can give you all the insights, tips and best practices to help you become a better business development professional. Let's get ready for the next episode. Everyone, I'm Lucia and I'm your host, and today with me there is Quirine. It's actually a very special episode of the podcast because Quirine is actually the student number 1 of the BD School. So welcome, Quirine.
Hi.
So guys, today we're going to talk about her entrepreneurial journey. She founded an app called Dearly. I'm not going to say anything more about it. I will let her do the talk. So Quirine, if you're ready, let's talk BD.
Yes, I'm totally ready.
Awesome. Cool. So maybe we can start with making sure that the audience knows you. So can you tell us more about your journey so far?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Quirine, but most people call me Q because that's a little bit more nice. Short to pronounce. And I'm 28 years old, and I currently live in Nijmegen, in the east of the Netherlands. And actually, I founded my company in 2018. And just a quick explainer of what Dearly is. Dearly is a grieving app. So an app that will help you in your grieving process when you lost a loved one. And I founded my company because in 2017, my father suddenly passed away. He got really sick, and in a short period of time, he passed away. So then, obviously, I came into a grieving process, and I didn't know where to look. I didn't know where I can find the right information about grief. I wanted to talk about people, talk to companions maybe, but I couldn't really find anything. So that's when the idea started to make a startup, to found a grieving app. Yeah.
Nice. And what is it that you do precisely? So what can people do on Dearly?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, we currently have 3 main features. The first feature is that you can find a companion. So you can just apply for the app, scroll around a bit, and if you want to, you can apply for our buddy system. And the buddy system is a feature where there are all kinds of people that also lost a loved one, and you can connect with them and just help each other out. So you can just look in the buddy system and see if there's someone that you would like to match with. When you apply for the buddy system, you just fill in a couple of questions like who did you lose, when did you lose your loved one, and also what is their cause of passing away. So were they sick, or was it sudden? Or you can just fill that in. And then other people can see your profile, and you can just connect with each other. So just like LinkedIn or Facebook, you'll send out a request, and then people can accept or deny the request. And after it's accepted, you can just chat with each other and just talk about your experiences, maybe ask questions. So that's feature number 1. Feature number 2 is more like a database of articles at the moment. So we'll just post a lot of information on how to cope with your grief, maybe like how can a therapist help me in my grieving process? How do I make sure that my friends are understanding what I'm going through at the moment? So all these kind of questions are being answered in the form of articles. We're also looking to maybe add podcasts or audiobooks, videos. So actually other types of content to make sure that people are just familiar with what we can do for them, and also what they can have support from. So that's the second feature. And the last feature is a database of all the professionals that we have in our system. So, for example, you can look for a coach, therapist, or psychologist, and they can just help you with your grieving process. So you can contact them and then start a therapy with them, because we just want to make the whole side of going to a therapist and get help from them. We just want to make that insightful and also more clear, because there are so many coaches and sometimes you just don't know where to go. So, yeah.
That's very true, and I think especially when it comes to psychological help, it's really difficult already to accept that you need help. But then the system is really not easy, because indeed it's there's just so much choice, and it's really difficult then to get to the right one. So that's great that we can find them also on Dearly. And I have a question actually. So I know that of course you target primarily people that lost someone, so that maybe someone died and so on. But do you see in the future maybe an application of Dearly for other kind of losses? For example, a breakup or something like that. Is there something in the plan for that?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and also a question that we get asked quite often. I mean, you're totally right. There are a lot of different aspects of grief. So indeed, loss of relationship, or when you lose your health. So when you get sick and you can't do certain things anymore, losing your job, losing your house, all kinds of things like that also count as grief. That's something that we're really aware of for now, because of our own experience with losing a loved one through death. That's something we want to focus on first and make sure that business stands and is all thought out. And then later we want to see if we maybe can convert our business model to other kinds of grief. So yeah, that's also something we have in the back of our mind, but not something that we're currently focusing on.
Nice, that's good. And so of course we met in, I think it was 2019, I believe June 2019. Actually, for you listening guys, a few days ago I was looking back at my notes of that time. I had a journal and I saw the name of Quirine. I was like, tomorrow we start, is the first student, Quirine is here. So it was really nice. So guys, everything you see on the BD School actually passed through her as well. She gave us a lot of feedback at the beginning. And this, for example, is one thing I'm really proud of. You know, the fact that after 2 years we're still here, and you're still involved with the BD School. So my question for you is, what's your proudest moment, or what's the thing you're most proud of as a startup founder as of today? Because of course, maybe there will be more things in the future, but how about now?
Well, there are, I think, multiple milestones in my career as a startup as a founder of my startup that I'm really proud of. But if I had to name one thing, I think it's just the overall feeling that that the people who are using our app are feeling genuinely supported and have made really nice contact with people, and I really feel supported. I think that's something that I'm the most proud of, that I can facilitate in that kind of support. So that's something that I'm really proud of.
Nice. And of course, well, being a startup founder also means facing a lot of challenges. What's the main challenge that you faced so far? Like, let's say the one that seemed the most difficult?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, first of all, I'm really happy to have partnered up with Peter van der Oest, my business partner, because first I was doing everything by myself, and then you just have to put on the financial hat, and then put on your marketing hat and your business development hat, and it can be really, really stressful sometimes. So first of all, I'm really glad that we can do that together now. I think the most challenging thing would be gaining traction with your business. So build up a sustainable business model, how to make money with your startup, and actually a step after that, how do you find an investor that is willing to invest in your company and is willing to not invest money but also time in your business to really take it to the next level? I think those will be the biggest challenges for me.
Nice. And what are you currently busy with at Dearly? So you personally, because of course with Peter now you split
Yeah.
the responsibilities. That's great. I wish soon we'll have a co-founder too, so I can also do that.
Yeah.
But what are you working on at the moment?
Yeah, so to give a little bit of an idea, the app launched in December, on the 21st of December to be exact. And the development team is just constantly trying to make the app better, improve it, fix little things. So that's something that they're working on behind the scenes. There's currently a new update coming. I think it will be ready at the end of May. So that's really nice because then we'll have a paid subscription model in the app. So that's really cool. And for me personally, I'm really focusing on gaining the traction. So how can we, besides the paid subscription model, make sure that, for example, our partners or the professionals that are available in the app can also be part of a business model. So, for example, they write an article and we can, like basically sponsor it, so they'll be extra visible in the app. They pay for that, so that's also a one of our business models. So that's something we're really focusing on. And also we're focusing on getting more and more content in the app, so more articles, more information, just to make sure that the people that are using our app really have the feeling that it's just the information keeps coming, and it's, maybe that sounds a bit weird, but the app is alive and things are happening. And I think that's a really important part for us. So yeah, I think that's it.
Nice. And of course, when we met in 2019, you were really in the early stage. So I remember you had so many ideas, and
Yeah.
it's just so cool to actually see it live 2 years after, But that tells me also that you were really good at fixing your priorities and making sure that you focus on the right things. So do you have some tips maybe on how to be more productive and how to choose your priorities in a good way that's, is actually going to bring results?
Yeah, it's really, I think that's one of the hardest things to do as a startup founder, because I always say, when you're a founder of a company, when you don't do anything, nothing will happen. It all basically comes down to you. If you want to network, then you have to go out there and do it. If you want to work on your pitch deck, then you literally just have to type it and make it happen. So that's really cool, because that gives you like a form of control, but it can also be really stressful. So I think what's really important is that you break down your priorities and goals. So what I did was just really globally make an overview of what I want to do in a year, and then break it down to what I want to do in 6 months, what I want to do this quarter. Quarter? Is that how you call it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do I want to do this month? What do I want to do this week? And so on. And just break it down in little pieces, and then just prioritize. Just take a pen, and number one is the highest priority, and then just break it down. And I think in that way you will be able to obtain the focus and also sustain the focus, because you can just go all over the place. And sometimes I would get an email with a request, and I would just focus on that for weeks, and then think about, oh no, I was really doing something completely different, and now I didn't even have the time to do that. So I think it's just really nice that you have insight in what's happening in your business and make sure that you're heading in the right direction. So,
cool. And did you find maybe some tricks, or did you test several strategies? Because, for example, in my case, I tried pretty much all the time management techniques that exist, like the Pomodoro technique and whatever. What I figured is that these things usually work for like maybe a week or two for me, and then that's it. So I'm still trying to figure out like the way, to be more productive. But did you have maybe some tricks here and there that helped you become more productive?
Well, what really works for me, but maybe you also tried that already, is to block time in my agenda. So just first I only blocked time in my agenda when it was an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
But now I also block time in my agenda to work on my to-do list or to work on a specific task, because then when I see it pop up, then I know that I have to work on it. And sometimes I just make the task in my agenda like a little motivational speech for myself. So, okay, let's work on content now. You can do it, with a little emoji with your hand. So that gets me motivated a bit.
Nice.
Let's see. I just downloaded the. I think it's called Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you know it. It's the app where you can set a time and then it grows a little tree in that time. And if you go on your phone or if you go on certain websites on your laptop, the tree will die. So then you'll get motivated because you don't want the tree to die.
Nice. How is this app called?
It's called Forest, and I think it's like €2 in the App Store, like a one-time fee, and then it's just on your phone. And you can also have the extension in your browser, so you can also use it on your laptop. So that's something I'm going to try out. And also, I just make lists. I make a lot of lists. I make lists. Like physical lists, but also, for example, in Asana, it's a tool, and I just use it and just check them off. That's really satisfying also when you...
I agree.
Yeah.
Same. I really like to just mark off stuff and we're like, yes. I did it. Yes.
Yes.
But I will totally try the motivational speech in the to-do list. This, I didn't try it yet.
Yeah. I think it's really, really effective. Or sometimes it's just in the way that you phrase things, because sometimes I put something in my agenda and then I don't know what it really means. For example, I put in my agenda business model, but then I look at it and I think business model, what? What do we What was it again? But then if you say, get started on the plan for my business model, or send out the business model to my advisor for a check, then it's more
concrete, maybe?
Concrete, yes.
Nice. And so, of course, another thing you mentioned, which really, I can totally relate, is the fact that at some point you would get distracted maybe by one email that arrived and by this and by that. So one thing that happens to me very often is that indeed I get all this input from the outside on so many different things. And it's really difficult to find the focus when that happens. Sometimes it even creates crisis. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think of this. Indeed, I should do it now. And then I stop working on the important stuff. So how did you manage to win this, if you did it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have this rule. I think it's like a method as well. I don't know what it's called, but I once read, if you can do a task in 5 minutes, then don't write it down, but just do it. And you have to find a balance in that, obviously, because if you have 100 tasks of 5 minutes in a day, then you'll be busy all day. But sometimes when you're doing something else, and then I could write it down, but if I do it, then I just already could cross it off my list. Mm-hmm. I think that's really helping. And for the other things, when I'm doing something and something just pops in my head, I'll just write it down as well. and then do it after I finish the task that I was doing, because it can be really stressful to just keep back and forth to different things you have to do. And also what helps for me, if I really want to focus on working on a task, I just flip my phone upside down so I don't see the notifications coming in, and I just close my mail app on my laptop, so I don't see the messages of my mail, because then I get really distracted. When someone has a question, I'm like, oh no, I have to answer this immediately because someone needs my support or anything. So that can maybe also help with that.
Nice. I'm gonna try all these tricks, because as said, I'm really hunting for the perfect solution to my productivity issues. But that's also true that this year was particularly difficult to be productive, and focus all the time. Like, how did you experience that, with the work from home and not having really much interactions with the external world?
Mm-hmm. Yes, for me, I think it's going quite well, because I live in Nijmegen, Peter lives in Amsterdam, so that was already something that we used to have digital meetings a lot before COVID. So but you do miss that you just can't go to a like a co-working space and work together or things like that. So that's something that I do really miss. But with our partners, I mean, it does really the positive thing about it is that you don't spend so much time traveling, so getting from appointment to appointment. So in my opinion, you have more time to get work done and focus on things, but also relax because you're just at home. So if you want to grab a coffee real quick, or distract yourself by doing the laundry, then you can also just do that. So I think in a way I'm maybe more productive, I think. But I mean, I do really miss it that you can just be next to each other or in front of each other, look someone in the eyes and just have a good conversation. So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, for me, it was at the beginning of all this pandemic, I was actually super productive, super motivated, and I tend to be very optimistic all the time anyway. But lately, it started really taking a toll, and it's like we just can't see the end. And for me, the worst is that I tend to be a bit of a workaholic. So the part of the relaxing is really difficult for me. So how do you do that? How do you do to relax, and really to detach from the working day, especially now that we're from home, like I know that as a founder, at least personally, it's really difficult to, not think about it. Like I can't, even if I try to oblige myself, I don't manage to. And then because of that, I don't really relax. So how do you do that? Please tell me.
Help. Well, I think it's really something that you need to, I think, maybe grow into over time, because it can be difficult to let things go. Not only when it's 6 o'clock, but also when you want to take a break. So what really helps for me is Peter and I always have like a 1 hour lunch break, and then just when we want to grab a drink or a snack during the day, we'll just do that, obviously. But because of the 1 hour break, you get kind of a wind down, but then just in the middle of the day. And I always try to relax, like put my laptop aside, maybe watch an episode of something on Netflix, or just scroll through YouTube or read something, and just try to relax my mind for a bit. So that really helps.
Good. Well, thanks a lot. So I will try to do more of this, but I think in terms of relaxing, I still have a long way to go. The only thing that helps me is tennis, though, at least. So I do that.
That's nice. Yeah.
Nice. And so if you had to give, advice to someone that wants to start a company, that precisely an app, because it is a bit different, right? So what would be your biggest piece of advice for a young entrepreneur wanting to launch an app?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that we really see the app as a way to provide support for people and not like the goal. So the goal was never to start an app, but the goal was to help people support or to support people who are suffering from losing a loved one. So in that way, make sure that you're developing an app isn't your why, but there's another reason that you want to provide for something, or maybe it's something that you miss in your day-to-day life, or something that you can think that could be more easy or more accessible, or I don't know. So I think that's the first tip. And also really just go out there and talk to people, because I think it's really important to make sure that the problem that you want to solve, the problem that people might have, that you really just make sure that you get that really sharp in your mind. Because I think when you really know what your future customer's problem is, then you can have the perfect opportunity to find a problem solution fit. So what's the solution that you're going to offer? So I think that will be the first step, and just do a lot of research, interview people, let them just tell you about what their problem is, and just go on from there.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Guys, if you want to build a company, just focus on the problem you want to solve. That's for sure. Cool. Thanks a lot, Quirine. And so, of course, we are a very international community, so we always like to promote the countries of our speakers. Of course, we're both in the Netherlands at the moment, so I'm always a bit, I have an internal fight because I'm Italian, but I'm here and I like both countries, so I will try to be neutral on this. What do you think is the best thing about the Netherlands that, people should know so they come to visit us here?
Oh, wow. Well, I think, the Netherlands isn't the biggest of countries, obviously.
No.
Like cultural wise, we have a lot of beautiful places you can visit and things you can see, and it's very diverse. You have spread out farmlands, but also the bigger cities and the beautiful forests. So I think that's a really nice mixture of all kinds of places you can visit. Just rent a bike and bike away.
What's your favorite place in absolute? Like the place that you could go there 100 times and you're never upset, like you always want to go there?
In the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, my absolute favorite place to be is my hometown. So it's a real small village that I grew up. It's called Beek, which literally means creek.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of small creeks, and a couple of years ago, Beek won the prize of the most beautiful village in the Netherlands, and it is really, really beautiful. So every time when I go visit my mother, and I just love it there. It's really calming, but also really close to the city, and it's just really nice.
Nice. And I will definitely go there. I didn't know, so I'm going to check it out. I like to visit also small villages in the Netherlands because I agree with you. They're cute and they're nice, and the people are nicer than in the city. So it's really nice.
Right, that's true. Yeah, you should come visit. I'll give you a tour.
Nice. And then in terms of, we have a lot of students from Italy, and a lot of our guests were from Italy. So of course we talked about food, and in Italy we have a wide choice, but in the Netherlands, what's your most favorite food, Dutch food, or something that you think we should all try?
Oh, well,
Exactly.
I have a really strange favorite Dutch food. Well, actually, I have two. In Dutch, when we eat things that are Dutch, we call it Hollandse pot.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'm going to defend myself now because I really love Brussels sprouts.
But aren't they Belgian?
Yeah, I don't know. I think. As a kid, Brussels sprouts are when kids are like, ew, veggies, they're disgusting. It's always Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
No one likes Brussels sprouts except for me. I really like them. So that I really like with mashed potatoes, and then I'm a vegetarian, so with a burger or something, a vegetarian burger. And also I like, actually my absolute favorite food is spersiebonen. So it's green beans.
Oh yes, I love them too.
I love them.
They're so good.
With a little bit of, also with mashed potato and a little bit of nutmeg. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're good. Actually, yeah, I figure, I don't know if it's like something typical that most people like cultivate here in the Netherlands, but that's true that since I'm in the Netherlands, I eat them so much more than before.
Yeah.
You find them all the time.
Yes. And also mashed potatoes. So there's a theme here.
Yeah. Yeah, potatoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
With kale, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
Mash it together with the vegetarian sausage, really nice. But I can also remember my grandmother. She used to have a little city garden, and she'll just grow all kinds of crops. And then we'll go there on our bikes, and I would be in the little seat in front.
Oh.
And then she would go like, "Honey, what would you like to have for dinner this evening?" And I would be like, green beans, Grandma. And she'll be like, "Oh, great, just take them off the land." And I just literally pluck them from the trellis, or what's it called. So yeah, that was really really nice and really fresh also. So
cool. Nice. Thank you so much, Quirine. This was really like a nice journey, like not only in your entrepreneurial journey, but actually in your memories, right? So also now with the stories from your family. So thank you so much, really, for this. Everyone listening, of course, check out Dearly if you think it can help you. And thank you so much, Quirine. See you guys on the next episode.
Thank you for having me.